Hello everyone, in this video I will be going over Twilight Sparkle as an evil magical girl. In my previous video, I turned her into a magical girl, made her evil, of course, why not? But I never gave her like a story to go on, so that's what I'll be doing here. I also want to like talk about the drawing I did here, because I had a lot of issues while drawing, but I kind of overcame them. It really just pointed out my weaknesses that I need to work on more, but let's get to the story. So we know in the original My Little Pony show, we have Twilight Sparkle, who is, the leader and everything. And she's basically learning how to deal with different people, friendship, you could say. I'm biased when it comes to this because Twilight Sparkle has been put into the dirt. She has been put to work with the amount of people that she was with who were just not listening and just acting up all the time. But anyways, so this story is going off of Equestria Girls movie. Now, I will be honest, I have never finished My Little Pony. It's been a while. The last movie I watched was the second one and I just never really watched it again. But I wanted to, give my own creative spin to Equestria Girls. I'm unsure how the system work or how the story panned out, but this is my radiation. This is my recreation of it. Okay, so Twilight Sparkle, before she went into that portal into the other world, I don't remember what it's called now, but she goes into the other world where they're more human-like. And we noticed in the Equestria Girls 1 that they have no powers at all in this world. Well, I decided, what if I add on to that? So I was like, okay. In Equestria Girls 1, the original Twilight Sparkle is not to be seen. Just like the original Twilight Sparkle, she had gained her powers. You could say like a typical magical girl. But as she went on in her story, she started to go to the dark side. She tried her best helping out with people. She tried her best solving problems with her friends, her peers, and even her foes. But at some point, she became exhausted, tired. Is this really helping the world? Is this the best way we can do this? Or is there another way? Another way they're too coward to pursue. We all know Twilight Sparkle can be technical at times, sometimes a little too technical. But alas, Twilight Sparkle decided to research, try to find a way to make things easier. So she came up with an idea. Maybe, just maybe, if one person had all the power and they took away other people's power, the world would be simpler. There wouldn't be too many fights. There wouldn't be too many battles. There wouldn't be too many discrepancies between one another. There would be peace. But as she told this to the queen herself, they begged to differ. No, this is not right. It's not right to take someone's power away. While other people would have heard the queen's words as kind, caring, considerate, Twilight found it neglectful, naive, and careless. But she knew she couldn't just tell the queen straight out, hey, you're wrong, and I'm right. So she did what a genius like herself would do. She went back and proceeded to play along as normal, doing the same tedious tasks, hanging out with her friends, solving problems, dealing with issues, coming up with solutions. But while she was playing the facade, she was actually finding herself a step closer with her plan, a better world, better mains, ponies, peoples, I forgot what they're called. Wait, sorry to break the immersion. We're going back. What is her plan? She obviously cannot go against Queen herself. Not by herself. So she did something. She tricked all of her friends, slowly manipulating them one by one, using their emotions, tugging at their heartstrings, so she can manipulate them to move the way she wanted. Puppets, you could call them. They were no longer friends. They were toys. They were tools. A step closer to her win. She would tell them to do this. It's good for them. Do that. That will help us. But even they had begun to question Twilight's intentions. At first, it was very simple little things. After fighting this person, send them to me. It's very important that you report to me anyone with these powers or those powers in order to just keep track to know what we're getting into in case something happens, right? She made it seem reasonable until at a point it wasn't. During their battle, one of the most memorable battles, Twilight Sparkle decided to put her plan into the new step, the big step. She took away their power after defeating them. And as you can guess, her friends were shocked, horrified. How could she do something like this? What are you doing? Stop. She turned to them. This is off of the Queen's orders. They'll be fine. Nothing is wrong with them. It will be just a temporary suspension, you could say. Her friends were all confused, shocked, scared, but Twilight Sparkle has always been the leader, the reasonable one, the one that knows what to do, the one that always knows the right thing to do. So they didn't question it too much. They went on their missions, fighting more and more people along the way, and their powers being stripped with them. But this horrifying scenes turned into a daily occurrence. They no longer felt the fear as they did the first time. It felt right. It felt like something natural, something that should happen. But as these missions go on, it gets more intense. People started to lose their sense of self after their powers had been taken away. Her friends even began to really become more against Twilight as she took away powers from people who didn't even do anything wrong. They could be simply just walking outside, and they decide to, I don't know, do little fun bubbles of magic, and boom, their power has been stripped. They had done nothing wrong. They were perfectly fine, but Twilight thought otherwise. Eventually, when the time came and they were ready to go against Twilight, her friends, it was already too late. Twilight already held so much power. And not only did she hold that power, she has already gotten into their minds. She knew exactly just how to twist and tweak and turn things around. And that she did. She broke the friendship. A friendship that could never be repaired without her. After doing that, she went on her way to the queen and stripped the powers from each one of them herself, causing a world of normalcy, a world that Equestria should never be. And that is the end of this little tale I made up. She's like Twilight Sparkle, but like on the 48 laws of powers crack. Like she's like, she went too far with it, but now I'm gonna talk about my drawing and stuff like that, so let's go.
Hello, this is very different. I wanted to show a little bit more behind the scenes with this drawing. I ran into some troubles. This is like halfway mid through, but I want to show what I changed to make it better for the second part. Hold on. This was the second half. I spent about like 2 hours doing this part, and I could not figure out how to fix the dang shadows. They were frustrating me so much. So I looked up a picture showing like harsh shadows, because that's what I was dealing with during this drawing. So I focused more right here. Let me see if I can get my mouse real quick. What I focused on was fixing, oh shoot, okay, wait. The shadow is like, it's not as different as the lighting compared to this one, where my shadows are really harsh and my lighting is very harsh as well. There is some blending in there that I tried out. Obviously I'm still not finished yet, but I'm still trying to figure out how to just make it like, I don't know, more together, I guess. I can't find the words right now. One thing I do love that I was going for was trying to make her be in the dark to give that ominous or like intimidating feeling, the eerie feeling of her, because you know she's supposed to be evil. So I wanted to make her into the, like, I wanted her to be the darkest part of my drawing. As you can see here, when I put it in grayscale, the darkest part is her and her hair. So when I did that, I was like, yay! I finally got the part I wanted. Now I need to figure out what to do with that hair. Because when doing this drawing, I was thinking in layers. So I was thinking about the background. I wanted the background to be the lightest. Well, the second lightest compared to the star. So I made sure to make sure that my background was light. Like when you're having the white setting for Chrome or whatever you use. That's what I did. I turned that brightness all the way up like somebody's on their iPhone and it is late at night and they're on their phone. I don't know what else to say. That's what I did. Now for the star, I made sure that was in glow. I put that in add glow mode so the star could be like the main, one of the main, you know, oh my gosh, I can't speak English. I made sure to make the star one of the main focal points in this painting or drawing, whatever you want to call it. And yes, also the eyes. I didn't want the eyes to get lost, but I also didn't want them to like stand out either too much. If you look at this one compared to the one I had before right here, the eyes kind of just dull out, even though they're not the brightest part of the picture. Even though they're not the brightest part, like I wanted them to be like, you know, not too bright, they're also like dull. And not like a good dull. They're like soulless art dull. Oh, don't look at that. But on here, I don't know, even though it's like dark, it still gives like some life to it. Like there's some dimensions there. There's some shading there. You know what I mean? I feel like it looks way better. Now that I made this far, I'm going to have to figure out how to do the hair. I think I might have to watch a video on that because hair is not my strongest suit. And yeah, her hair has highlights. So when shading, I'm like, how do I shade highlights? Because usually you use, for me, when I'm shading, I shade with my color. So example, when I'm shading, you see this purple hair right here? I would use a darker or lighter hair of this color, of this purple, to shade. Probably turn the hues a little bit. If I wanted to. Like, I would be here, go to purple, and I'll put a little bit of blue depending on what kind of theme I'm going for. If I wanted to give that cold kind of theme, or I would go more to a reddish to give that whatever tone I'm going for. Obviously not all the way up there, but like around there, like a more purplish reddish, you know what I mean? Now when it comes to this, it's like, how do I shade multiple colors in the hair? I guess I just do the same thing, but just break it down into different pieces, even more than before. So all I'm saying is this is going to be a struggle for me, and I hope I get through it. Yeah, I really do. I interrupted myself before, but background, lightest layer. Well, okay, the star, main focal point, background, lightest layer. The staff, I want to be the second lightest part of the drawing. And then we have her. I wanted her side profile to be the second focal point with her eyes, and then I wanted the hair to have some brightness as well, to really point out that shadow right here. I hope that makes sense. But yes, I have to finish drawing this. How long has it took me to draw this so far? It has taken me about probably 7 hours. I have a lot of layers. They're not in order. Like, my layers, if I show you my layers, you're gonna literally be like, what the heck is wrong with you? They're not in order. They're not in folders or anything this time. My work progress is a mess right now. I need to start using my folders and stuff like that again, because I'm like going back into different layers, and I'm like, where the heck is the layer for the store? I didn't even name the layers. So yeah, back to the drawing. Goodbye for now. Bye.
Alright, so yeah, like I said, when it came to this drawing, I had many different, difficulties with it. As I said, the shadow, I had to sit back and actually focus on different shadow references. I looked at my references and I was like, okay, perfect reference to look at for this issue I'm having. And I just looked at my reference and tried my best to figure out how she would look in this position with the shadow. As for the hair, I kept running into multiple issues with the hair. I definitely have to practice hair more. But I tried my best. Shading it and adding the lighting. I realized, halfway through that maybe I just need to make the hair super dark and make some tiny little highlights here and there. I also didn't want to waste too much time on this drawing, as I have other projects in store that I need to put out. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna try my best and just move on. I can't stay stuck on this drawing. But it was fun to do, and I did learn a lot from it. I learned my, weaknesses that I need to work more on, and how I can work on those weaknesses compared to before. So for the hair right here, you can see I added these harsh little highlights, and then I decided, okay, I don't need to do the middle part of her hair. That can be just straight shadow. So I focused on highlighting the end tips of her hair, and then just left it at that. I was like, okay, yeah, it's time to go. I tried to make the star more brighter, add some little highlights to the staff to brighten that up some, as well as the side of her face. When doing the side of her face, I was kind of like, wait, am I messing up the shading I did? But I was like, you know what? It's whatever. There has to be a little highlight there because the star is shining so bright. Then I added a star to her eye, as you can see here. There she is. Wow. Some critique I would give myself is, the first critique is, uh, you know, the messiness. It should be more cleaner. There's a lot of messy parts in my drawing. I always notice that I have, that my drawings tend to be messy. I need to work more in the line art and stuff like that. But as far as that, I would say hair. Hair is my next focus. You know, the cleanliness and the hair. That's what I'm focusing on for my next projects. Um, that is it for this video. All I have left is a cute little speed paint that I never finished. As I said, I have other projects. So you can watch this if you want to support me, or you don't have to. You could just subscribe if you want, if you enjoy my content. And that is it for today. So enjoy this little cute drawing. There will be no talking, just straight music. Bye!